You're here to make a significant announcement.
I've decided to leave.
They're going to call you every name in the book after this comes out. They're going to call you a traitor. They're going to call you an ingrate. What are you going to say?
Oh man, major breaking news coming out this morning that Kyrsten Sinema is officially leaving the Democratic Party. And this coming right after the Georgia Senate runoff elections, as Democrats in the Senate were celebrating the 51-49 split. And then she comes out and says, "I'm leaving, guys." Wow. Now, how is this going to be impacting legislation, stimulus, all of the promises we've heard that were going to be coming in this lame duck session as we enter into 2023 and also going now into 2023? Well, I've got the exclusive interview with Jake Tapper so you can see it and hear it for yourself. And also take a look, making headlines today. Sinema leaving the Democratic Party and registering as an independent. Sinema switches to independent, shaking up the Senate, and Kyrsten Sinema switches from Democrat to independent. Here's what it means for the Senate. So we're going to be taking a look at this. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest breaking news coming out, you guys. And now before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. As you know, I keep you up to speed on stimulus, Congress, the economy, everything going on, including stimulus checks, child tax credits, Social Security increases, SNAP, PEBT benefits, anything that's available on any level to help you out at this time, you guys. This coming out, this is going to be shaking things up. So, man, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and take a look at this breaking news just coming out as Kyrsten Sinema says she's leaving the Democrats.
You're here to make a significant announcement.
I've registered as an Arizona independent. I know some people might be a little bit surprised by this, but actually I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, a growing number of Arizonans and people like me just don't feel like we fit neatly into one party's box or the other. And so, like many across the state and the nation, I've decided to leave that partisan process and really just focus on the work that I think matters to Arizona and to our country, which is solving problems and getting things done.
So your voting record is pretty capital D Democratic. I mean, your views are generally that of a moderate centrist Democrat. How does leaving the party change how you do your job?
Well, I don't think anything will change about how I do my job. Arizonans sent me to the United States Senate to be an independent voice for our state, and I'll continue doing that. What I think is important about this decision and this move is that I'll be able to show up to work every day as an independent and not be, stuck into one party's demands of following without thinking. And as we've seen in recent years, both parties have created this kind of requirement or a pull towards the edges that you just unthinkingly support all of one party's viewpoints. It's made it difficult to find folks who are willing to work together and solve problems. Now, as you know, Jake, we've been able to do a lot of bipartisan work over the last couple of years, and I'm incredibly proud of that. And I think it's important for folks across my state and frankly across the country to say, yeah, there's someone that's kind of like me, doesn't fit neatly into one box or the other, but is standing up for their values, for what they believe in, and is doing it without trying to get one over on the other party or beat the other guy.
So let's talk about practically what this means, because you're the chair of at least 2 subcommittees. You're a member of a number of important committees, including Veterans Affairs. Does this mean that you're no longer going to be in those positions because you're no longer a Democrat and the Democrats control the Senate?
Well, I intend to maintain my position on my committees and keep doing the work that I've been doing for Arizona. So I don't think that things will change in terms of how I operate or the work that I do in the United States Senate.
So ever since Raphael Warnock, Senator Warnock, was reelected earlier this week, the balance of power right now is 51 Democrats, or 51 votes for the Democratic Party. That includes 2 independents, Angus King of Maine and Bernie Sanders of Vermont. But that's 51-49. What you're doing today doesn't change that? It's still basically going to be 51-49?
Well, I know you have to ask that question, Jake, but that's kind of a DC thing to worry about. What I'm really focused on is just making sure that I'm doing what I think comports with my values and the values of Arizonans. So when I come to work each day, it'll be the same. I'm going to still come to work and hopefully serve on the same committees I've been serving on and continue to work well with my colleagues of both political parties. And I'm not really spending much time worrying about what the mechanics look like for Washington, D.C. And to be honest, Jake, I don't think anyone in Arizona is caring about that either. So I don't think things will change much for me, and I don't think things will change much for Arizonans.
It's also an unusual time because the Democrats in Washington feel really good right now. They actually picked up a Senate seat and picked up some governor seats. It's the first time the party that controls the White House actually gained Senate and governor seats since 1934. The wave that was supposed to come, the red wave, didn't actually happen. Kevin McCarthy, or the Republicans, maybe Kevin McCarthy will be the speaker, but either way, the Republicans will control the House, but not with the margins they were expecting. This is going to disappoint a lot of Democrats, and they're also going to feel like they don't understand. Why would you do this at a time when the Democratic Party is having a good week?
Well, I think folks at home in Arizona have known me for a very long time, and they know who I am. I've always been someone who is focused on getting results, getting things done, and I've never fit neatly into any party box. I've never really tried. I don't want to, and I think that's reflective of how most Arizonans live. You know, Arizonans who aren't affiliated with either party are often the largest group of voters in Arizona. And even those who are affiliated with parties often find that they don't fit 100% into that box. The reality is that when we get up in the morning, we don't really think about partisanship. Most people don't wake up and think, okay, well, I've got to get this Democratic breakfast on the table. I got to get in my Republican car and go to work. That's not how real life is. I know it is in this town, but in the rest of the country, people are just living their lives. And so they're not thinking about who's winning and who's losing, but that's what the parties are thinking about, is how do we get one over on this guy? How do we ensure that we're punishing them? How do we continue to win? And what I'm really focused on, and I think the proof is in the pudding of the work I've done in the Senate, I'm really focused on getting results, like actually solving problems. And so, removing myself from the partisan structure, not only is it true to who I am and how I operate, I also think it'll provide a place of belonging for many folks across the state and the country who also are tired of the partisanship.
Well, there's going to be a lot of noise about this from the Democrats, from progressives, from the left. You know this, that because of your position working with Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia to push back on some of the efforts, the legislative efforts, and change them and moderate them, you've already been a target of the left, and people have been very critical of you. They're going to call you every name in the book after this comes out. They're going to call you a traitor. They're going to call you an ingrate. What are you going to say?
Well, I think I'll do what I always do, Jake, which is keep doing the work that I know is important for my state. I just not worried about folks who may not like this approach. What I am worried about is continuing to do what's right for my state. And there are folks who certainly don't like my approach. We hear about it a lot. But the proof is in the pudding. In the last few years in the Senate, as you and I have just mentioned, I've been honored to lead historic efforts from infrastructure to gun violence prevention to protecting religious liberty and helping LGBT families feel secure, to the CHIPS and Science bill, to the work we've done on veterans issues. The list is really long. And so I think that the results speak for themselves. It's okay if some people aren't comfortable with that approach.
Well, I got to tell you, I think that there's going to be a lot of Democrats in Congress this morning that are not necessarily going to be happy with this approach, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We're going to be seeing all of the reactions that unfold to this news that's just coming out this morning, and we're going to be seeing how this impacts legislation, as they were celebrating that they had that one extra seat and it was no longer a 50-50 split. And you heard her mention that she just wants to be independent. She wants to do her own thing, and she doesn't want to be tied to the beliefs of one particular party. And as we enter into 2023, we have heard promise stimulus provisions, which Democrats were saying were finally going to be getting done, brought to the forefront. We had heard one of the two main ones was going to be child tax credits or Social Security increases. And we have been hearing a lot now about child tax credits, as it's looking like Social Security is going to get pushed into 2023. And we're also waiting to see what's going to happen with fourth $2,000 stimulus checks. I will keep you guys up to date. We're also waiting to see what's going to happen with student loan debt. And also, there is still SNAP and PEBT benefits going out to help out individuals to get food to children. I'll keep you up to date on everything. But if you want the latest on stimulus getting done in the month of December before 2023 on a federal level to everybody in the nation, check out this video right here, as I just updated you last night on the latest push for more stimulus. And I'll keep you guys up to date. There's more research rolling out saying that more stimulus would actually help out those most in need, the low income. Check out that video. Don't forget, if you made it this far, smash the like button, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.